Hello and welcome to Colour Multimedia Enterprises. My name is Luke, also known as TNRA, and in this particular tutorial we are going to take a look at text fields, and I am going to show you how to use both dynamic and input text fields. So the dynamic text fields is of course the ability to just display text, nothing out of the ordinary, and input text fields is the ability to edit text fields. So without further ado, let us get started. Hello and welcome back. So as mentioned in the introduction video, in this particular tutorial we are going to take a look at rendering fonts onto the screen. So we are going to carry on from the previous tutorial. So what I'm going to do is import a few things in order to get this thing that we want to do. So I'm going to import text field. I'm going to import text field auto size, and I'm going to import text format like that. Okay, so in here I'm going to create another private variable. I'm going to call it txt field, completely and totally not generic. Then what we're going to do is instantiate the text field. So I'm just going to say txt field is equal to new text field, so that's now instantiated. We are creating a new text field. Then what I want to do is set the default text format property to a new text format. Yes, that's what I want to do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say assets dot get font, and in here I want to type font slash, and then I want to get one of these. So let's say I want Open Sans bold. So Open Sans bold.ttf. I'm going to close that, and I'm going to press dot again, and this time I want to look for font name. Then I'm going to get a size, so I'm going to, let's say 18, and a color. Now most of the background is going to be black, because obviously our object is pretty much in space, so we want to make sure that we do that. What I'm going to then do is say embed fonts. The reason why is because obviously we are getting a font from an embedded resource, which would be TTF file. Should pretty much always use embed fonts whenever possible, because when you're distributing your game, you don't want to rely on system fonts for start with, and also the custom font that you want to be using is probably not included on the target device. So ideally what you would want is redistribute the fonts that you want to use as well, such as these. Now Open Sans is from Google Fonts. They're all MIT licensed, and they are all free to use, and also royalty free as well, because it is under the MIT license. So it's completely fine to go ahead and use pretty much any font that you desire from Google Fonts. Google Fonts is a great place. Okay, so in here what I want to do is also say auto size, and I want to say auto size dot text field auto size is left. So basically what this will do is it's going to say, okay, when I specify text in auto size, I want to have the text field automatically grow. So regardless of how much text I put into the text field, I want you to grow automatically. That's basically what I'm saying. So it's going to grow left, toward the left. It's not going to grow towards the left. It's going to sort of align to the left. and then it's going to grow right, if that makes sense, and then it's going to modify the width accordingly. Text field selectable is false, so I don't want to be able to select it. I also don't want it to be multi-line, so I'm going to set that to false as well. And last but by no means least, let's put text field dot text is equal to RPG FL tutorial. The reason I'm calling it RPG FL is because I'm using OpenFL. See what I did there? Hopefully. Oh dear. Anyway, then what we want to do is add that to the screen. So at the moment it's just going to sit at 0.00, so let's test that. See what it looks like. In your own time. Okay, here we go. Alright then, so what I'm going to do is yeah, so that's all good. Into Nico, I'm going to double click on RPG tutorial and let's see the results of this. Okay, so this is what it looks like. RPG tutorial, it is bold as we like to see, and that looks fine to me. Although I would like the text to be sent in the center of the screen, so around about, obviously you can't see the mouse because my video recorder doesn't capture the mouse. I should really turn that on actually before recording. But yeah, so we've got RPG FL tutorial. I want to make that text a bit bigger, and I also want to, yeah, take your time. And I also want to make it in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say textfield.x, and that's going to say lib. Didn't need to do that because we've got base width divided by 2. So basically saying 848 divided by 2, which is going to be, yep, you guessed it, it's going to be 424, and then we're going to minus that by the width of our text field, and that is going to divide by 2 in order to make it in the middle. And then I'm going to bring the text field down a bit. So let's say I'm going to bring it down about 10 pixels. So let's test that and see what it looks like until we get a result that we like. Okay. In your own time. Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do is, well, test it. Take a look at the results. So now we've got a slightly bigger, and obviously as you can see when we resize it, the actual text is stretching, which is nice to see. So if we move it over here a bit, resize it like this, just going to test it like that. Okay, cool, looks good to me. Okay, so now let's take a look at input text fields. So since OpenFL 3.3 we have got a working text field, as in a text field that will work so that we can actually edit it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say selectable is true, and I want to set auto size to none. By default it's none anyway, but I'm going to set multiline to true. And what I'm now going to do is I'm going to say text field dot width is equals 200. So now I'll be able to modify that text to my liking. So let's actually, no, I can't do that yet. I need to set the another property, which is type. So type, the type of the text field. So it says dynamic, which specifies a dynamic text field which a user cannot edit, or a text field type input, which specifies an input text field which a user can edit. So that's what we're going to be using. So text field type. So let's go back up here and import that so that we can actually use it. And we are going to go into text field type input. So as you can see, this code is starting to grow. It's starting to get a bit out of control, and when we start actually adding more menus and screens and stuff like that, it's just going to go haywire. So eventually what we're going to actually do is put this all into a separate class, which we will get onto in a separate tutorial. But for the time being, it's just going to be, what am I doing? That's not the command line, that's my screen recorder. No, we want the command line. Okay. So we're going to go into here, we're going to rebuild it. Then we're going to take a look at how we can modify the text field, which is going to be cool, because it worked in Legacy and then it stopped working in the new version of OpenFL, which was version 3. Now it started working again. So let's take a look at that, shall we? Let's take a look at the results, shall we? So now, as you can see, I can hover over it and I can modify it, as you can see. Hello people. But obviously, as you can see, it's not allowing us to see past the text field. So one thing that does need to be done is, am I missing something? Must be. Input auto size is none. Selectable. Multiline is true. That's weird. Multiline is true. Basically what happens is when we have the multiline value, and we continue typing. Oh yes, that's another thing I actually completely forgot. I need to turn on word wrap. That's what I was missing. That's why. So I need to turn word wrap on in order to actually allow it to work. So essentially what's going to happen is when we type, it will move across. Don't tell me how it works, it just does. I actually don't know. That's actually one of the few things in OpenFL that I don't know how it works. Don't tell me how, just does. Don't ask. If you do know how, then let me know, because that would be awesome. Maybe Joshua Granick will know. He was the one that coded all this. Which, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be alive. Although it's doing that, which isn't. Yeah. Hello there, everyone. So it's word wrapping. Although ideally that's not what we're looking for. So again, I'm missing something. Maybe I need to specify height. I hadn't thought so though. Can be. I have done this before, trust me, I have, but for some reason I don't know how to do it. I swear it's one of these. One day it will work. I know I've got it in a project somewhere. I've got it in OpenFL GUI tutorial, which if this doesn't work, I might as well just show you anyway. OpenFL GUI. Which, if you've seen my OpenFL GUI videos, then you probably already know how it works, or have seen it at least anyway. So I'd expect that this is the right way. So RPGFL tutorial. Hello there. No. Well, no. Doesn't work like that. Okay, I'm just going to show you the other one. So open existing tutorial. It's back in. Where did I put it? Oh yeah, it's on my desktop, isn't it? OpenFL GUI tutorial. So if we go in here, I'll actually show you what it is. Then I'll be able to build it and then show you why is typical. So in here we are going down to text box. Yeah, selectable is true, multiline is true, width. Yeah. One thing we're not doing here is the word wrap. So what? So we don't need the word wrap on. That text field auto size none. I know this one works. I can even show you now. It is in here. OpenFL GUI.exe. Although yes, I don't think. Yes, of course. Don't ask. So yeah, that should in theory work, although for some reason it's not, and I don't know why. I don't know why. That is really odd indeed. That's not right. What am I don't know. I have so many projects. I'm starting to confuse myself. Right, I'm just going to build it while I return to the actual project, which is eventually in your own time flash develop. Yes, we all know you're slow. RPG tutorial, which is in here, and it's in Nico. So once that's done, hopefully I'll be able to show you something that works. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? So hello out Are you? No, it's not doing it. I don't know. But anyway, that's a tutorial on text fields which spiraled out of control very, very quickly. Because obviously I don't know what I'm talking about again, which is stupid and annoying. But yes, we all learn. Let's just say that we all learn from our mistakes, and hopefully I'll learn from my mistakes eventually when I get this bloody thing to work. But at least we know how to. At least I know how to enable input. That's one thing. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed me ranting and not being able to get things to work. And I will see you next time.